Hello everyone, I am now 10 months on testosterone and this is my update video. In my top surgery referral video, I mentioned that I had been off testosterone for a while because I was unable to get the testosterone shots, and I said that I was unsure how I was going to proceed with documenting my transition because of the lost time and stuff like that. But now that I'm back on track, thank God, this is my 10 months on T. So really I should be 11 months on testosterone, but because of the complications that I've had getting my testosterone shots, this means that I'm now a month behind. I basically missed a month and a half about that time of my transition, which is frustrating, but it's just something that has happened and I don't really have much control over it. It's happened, it's in the past, and I'm just trying to focus on the present and the future instead of, you know, being annoyed by things that have already happened. Who is messaging me? I mentioned that my GP was not comfortable in doing my testosterone shot, and I completely understand that because it was a new GP. They hadn't had any prior communication with my gender clinic. So my gender clinic got in touch with my GP and everything is sorted out now. My new GP is so much better. They seem so much more organized with their paperwork and so much more, I don't know, they just seem so much more competent. Unfortunately though, I've had really big trouble actually getting in touch with my gender clinic. I was supposed to have an endocrinology review at the beginning of August, but because of my missed testosterone shots, I was unsure whether or not it would actually be worth to go to this review because my gender clinic is about 2.5 hours away from where I live. I was unsure if traveling there and back was worth it when I hadn't actually been on testosterone. I tried to contact them multiple times over the week via phone, and every time I called them up, it said that their callers were unavailable. I then sent them an email asking if it was worth me going to this appointment. I never got a response. So I ended up not going to the endocrinology review. I've tried to contact them since I've missed that review as well, and I still have not had any luck whatsoever. I don't really know what's going on. Maybe it's reduced staff members during August, you know, summer holidays. I'm unsure, I don't really know what's going on. But my next appointment at the gender clinic is mid-September, so I guess I can ask my questions then. On top of this, I did get my referral letter. I tried to contact the reception of the surgeon that I'm trying to go with. As of right now, it is 6:30. It was 6 when I tried to call them, so maybe it's closed. I don't know, it just rang through. I'll try calling them tomorrow morning. A quick little update. I called the reception of my top surgeon this morning and I was told that waiting lists for the first consultation is 10 months. And then obviously past then is an even longer time. And after doing some research on Reddit, it seems that the general waiting list for people who had surgery 3 months ago is around 16 to 18 months. Bearing in mind this is before Mr. Brits was sick, so I don't know how much that will add to the delay, but the woman on the phone basically told me that it was gonna take, there will be delays. Right now I'm in two minds about what to do. I know that I can't wait this long for top surgery, so I don't know if I'm going to ask to be put on a different surgeon's waiting list on the NHS or if I'm just going to end up going private. I thought I would just do this little update because it wasn't very clear yesterday when I filmed my video, and now I know for sure, and it's kind of thrown a lot of things into question, so that's what I'm going to be considering over the next month and a half or so, whether or not to stay with the NHS or go private. I'm leaning towards private, but it would be nice to not have to pay all that money, you know, especially after being with the NHS for so long. It kind of makes me wonder if I just should have gone private to begin with. So it's not great news, but we're dealing with it, I guess. I'm increasingly convinced that I'm just going to end up going private because I don't think I can wait any longer. It is getting to the point now where it is becoming truly unbearable. I don't know. One of the changes I have noticed recently that I haven't mentioned before because I didn't think it was that much of a difference, but now I do see it is a huge difference, is my arm and hand veins. I'm definitely veinier. It's kind of hard to tell. If you don't know what my arms look like before, obviously they're not massively veiny or anything, but I have noticed that I'll just be like holding something and I'll look at my hand and realize that some of the veins are more prominent than they used to be before I started testosterone, which is really odd. Like, I don't know if you can see, this one right here, this one pops out a lot, and I'm there like, that did not used to happen before. I started getting dysphoria about it though, not the fact that I have veiny hands, but like I want veinier hands and arms, like I want them to be like popping. Maybe I should start working out again after all the failed times that I said that I would work out. I mentioned in one of my previous update videos that I didn't really want a beard because I thought I wouldn't suit it, but now I'm not that adverse to the idea, I don't think. I think it would make me feel better. And also it would probably make people think I'm a guy. Speaking of misgendering, I'm still being misgendered pretty much like 24/7 by everyone. I don't ever go outside without my binder nowadays, but that hasn't changed anything. The other day I was getting new lenses in my glasses. I just basically sat there for about an hour and a half, which is how long they said it would take, without my glasses, and I couldn't really see anyone. About an hour and 40 minutes I walked back up to the desk and I was like, hey, I've been waiting for my glasses. It's been a bit longer than you guys said it would be. I was just wondering if they were ready by now. And they told me to go sit down at a proper table, and from behind me I hear like two colleagues talking, I assume about me. Oh my god, she's been sat down waiting for ages. And then the other colleague replied, oh no, I'm going now, it's okay. And then immediately afterwards a colleague came and sat and served me, so I'm thinking they were talking about me. I didn't look behind me to see if they were talking about me. Something that was actually more upsetting, I've been doing interviews for nanny jobs quite a lot recently, and some of them require obviously going to the family's house and having an in-person interview with them and talking and meeting their children. She referred to me as she, and then her 4-year-old son looks at me and says, what do you mean she, don't you mean he? Mum got really embarrassed and said, don't say that. Son looks at me again and is like, but he looks like a boy. She moves on very quickly and starts talking about something else. So as I kind of process what was happening and thinking, should I correct her? Should I be like, actually, I am a guy? She's already moved on, and I'm thinking, okay, let's just not talk about it. But I was sat there and it was so uncomfortable. I felt like my blood run cold, thinking like, God, what the fuck? And I try not to be fragile about these things, but the only reason she had to believe that I was a woman was from my physical appearance. I have one more, sorry. Stop crying, you little bitch. I do have one more update quickly that I forgot to mention. I can't remember what month exactly I said that my skin type had changed to oily, and now I think it's definitely balanced back out. I would say it's back to combination skin, probably more oily combination. My T-zone, particularly like around, so like here, let's see, T-zone is this, right? Yeah, my T-zone, but particularly around my nose, is still really oily, but the sides of my face, basically just like the whole, this area, is very dry. That's changed, and now that I've reached 10 months on testosterone, which I found interesting because I was kind of convinced that I would just have really oily skin for a while. Okay, that has been my 10 months on testosterone update video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm onwards and upwards, I guess.